I stabbed my thigh with a wooden splinter, faking my first period. Then I shyly showed my bloody skirt to my mom. She rushed me back to the room to help, not knowing I was just trying to distract her. Inside, I nervously asked her to check the photos on my phone. The man who invited us on this trip, Jack, was actually a killer. The album was filled with pictures of murdered families. Mom asked how I knew. Half an hour earlier, while I was playing ball with Jack's son, he purposely threw the ball far away, so we could slip out of sight. He secretly led me into a warehouse, then down to the basement. It was packed with phones and personal stuff. I was confused, until the boy opened an album and pointed out a photo of his real parents. They were killed by Jack and his wife. Every family photo had Jack and his wife in the background. Clearly, many families had already been murdered. I was in shock. Then the boy pointed to his tongue. Jack had cut it off to keep him from telling the truth. He placed our family photo on a blank page, warning me we were next. He urged me to take pictures as proof. I told him my parents will find a way to save us. That's when I came up with the wooden splinter trick. After learning the truth, my parents were terrified, but we had to act normal. Mom pretended I was just scared by my first period and calmly took me out. Strangely, Jack's family didn't stop us. They even kindly fixed our punctured tire. Dad told Aunt to open the gate, planning to grab him when the car reached the exit, but Jack called Aunt back and opened the gate himself with a remote. In the car, I begged Dad to take Aunt with us, but Mom insisted we escape first and figure out how to save him later. Just as we were about to leave, I saw Jack shove Aunt into the water. I shouted for Dad to stop. He couldn't just leave Aunt to die. But Jack stood there watching us, smirking. Dad jumped in and pulled Aunt out, and we fell right back into Jack's trap.
People who kill often know one thing: this can get addictive. For me, the reason is simple: to take their children. The obedient ones stay with me, the disobedient. You know what happens? My wife and I usually go to resorts to look for targets. First, I find an excuse to start a conversation, like borrowing a chair just to make a first impression. Then I set up a second encounter, use common topics to get closer. Once we're familiar, I invite them over to my house. Take this couple in front of me, we've already gotten close. At dinner that night, I drank too much. Through the haze, I felt someone stealing my keys. But I acted like I didn't notice, waiting for them to be returned. Sure enough, it was my adopted son who took them. I pretended to know nothing, carried him on my back to play outside. At the same time, I gave him the chance to quietly put the keys back. While playing catch, I deliberately walked near the shed, and just as I expected, the basement door had been touched. It meant my targets had already sensed the truth.